Cool, and we back, guys. It's been a while. Shout out to YouTube, of course, as we recording this right now. Now, Twitch, say hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hi to Twitch. Y'all remember this? Who remembers this? It's been a while. We're getting back to it. We're getting back to it. So this is round 8 of the Tate Memorial that I played in 2022. I think right around the end of 2022. That's correct, right? And then right after this, we're going to go into the U.S. Masters ones. The U.S. Masters games that everybody, that was my greatest tournament ever, right? Is going to be the next, starting round 1 of that. This is round 8, of course, I think we'll go over round 9 too as well, of the Tate Memorial. This was like the prep tournament for the greatest tournament of my life. So here, cool, we back. Quick announcement here. We already got Chessable Joe Bava London is on the way. It's done. It's just going through the works right now. It's just going through the Chessable things right now that needs to be done. But all the text is done, guys. I'm telling you, this is gonna be the meanest Joe Bava London ever. MD9, thanks for giving it over to B dot over there. So yeah, my Chessable course for the Joe Bava London is gonna drop very soon. In fact. All right, chat. So this game is I'm playing against a very strong FM, very, very strong. He's like 2400. His name's Carlos Mercado, right? So I'm playing white here. And in this game, you know, I play E4. He goes C5, right? I go knight F3, and he goes D6. Now, which way do we go here, chat? This is very, very interactive is what I like to do these. And of course, we're going to keep this board like 20 minutes, probably like 15, 20 minutes max here. So we're not in here too long. But we can learn something. So what do you go here, chat? What do we do? It's very informational, right? Okay, so where do we go? White to move. What do we do in this position? Obviously, we have many moves. What do you think that I played here? Bishop b5 check. Chaotic says d4, and we have bishop b5 check. Okay, Alapin, because I don't know theory. Okay, we do got a c3 Cecile for the kill. You already hitting with the bishop g5. Najdorf says unreal. Right, now he gifting the sub with it, bringing the energy and keeping the energy. We should say C3 from CEO Anish. Okay, so C3 is actually nice. Bishop B5 check is very annoying to Sicilian players these days. It really is very annoying. These two are probably, I'm just giving you some Jedi tips here. C3 and Bishop B5 check are the most annoying to Sicilian players right now. So if you play Sicilian, you already know what I'm talking about. It's the absolute most annoying is when they go Bishop B5 or C3. But the most aggressive, not the most annoying, the most aggressive is the opener Sicilian. So I went D4, in fact. After d4, right, he plays knight f6, right, I go knight c3, and then after takes a6, we have a Najdorf from both sides. So I am definitely a Najdorf player. I've actually played Najdorf many times. In fact, I drew in the U.S. Masters. Actually, I'm not going to give out too much, but I had a nice game in the Najdorf, right? I've also won some games Najdorf. I've lost some games Najdorf. Like, he, you know, I've played this from both sides, so it's really nice. Thanks for the follow, Jules. So it's very nice, right? So a6, Najdorf. I go, where do I go here, chat? Which one do I choose? Which one do I choose? White to move. Which one do we choose here, chat? Which Najdorf are we going for? Bishop g5, sharp boy, says chaotic. All right. Which ones are we going for? Hitting, splitting, Barry. Which Najdorf are we choosing, guys? Okay, we got another bishop g5 from Trevor. Okay. g6. Wow, the g6 Najdorf. Man, that's interesting. And it's white to move, too. That's crazy. That is insane. h3. Okay, h3. Favor the Richter Roser. I think you favor the Richter Roser, which is Bishop G5, okay? From MD Knight. Anybody else? Anything else? Bishop E3, King E2 Najdorf. That one's new crack, though. That one's new. Don't try that one at home. Thanks for the follow, Grandpa Boy Dog. A3, okay? A3 is the Magnus. So actually, I have a game in my Najdorf playlist, which I'm going to link to you guys on YouTube. But I have a Najdorf game where the man's played A3. And my king was like ended up on e7. I won the game, but I should have definitely lost. He was like +6, but like tactics, right? I mean, and Magnus likes the a3 move. Just a real quick on that. A3, like so g6, very underrated, right? f4. All right. So in fact, guys, all of you are saying really cool stuff. Nobody mentioned one of my favorites, and I'm giving y'all Jedi. I'm just giving y'all stuff right now. Rook g1 now is one of my favorites. Rook to g1. Bruh. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's called the freak attack. Or like for real, it's really actually called that. Now, I didn't play Rook G1, but this is the type of. In fact, what's funny is, and I'm giving out too much, but my Joe Bava London course has some Rook G1 stuff early like this, right? With the same idea, you just learn a lot of attacking chess, right? But Rook G1 is about G4, G5 very quickly, right? You have Bishop E3, English attack wise. You have F3, A3 is more of what was this? Magnus likes to play this, right? Bishop e2 is more the Opsinski, however you even say it, right? Very positional. F4 is one move. Nigel Shore likes this type of stuff. H3 is as well. I went bishop g5. This is the most aggressive. Shout out to Grandfather Tao. One time for my grandfather Tao and Uncle Nesbedinov, Tao's trainer, obviously. Bishop g5, right? This is the stuff that is very aggressive. This is what I play, right? I actually have a very, very good score with this. I've lost one game OTB in this variation. One game. And I was actually winning that game, but it was against a 2600, right? Who was Antipov, right? It's actually in the YouTube playlist in Najdorf. I don't remember what I called it, but it was Chicago Open. So, but I mean, literally, like, I was winning the game, but messed it up somewhere. He ended up winning. In the end, I had a queen for like a few pieces. It was nuts. It was a nuts game. It was definitely winning. And calculation was very strong. But here in Bishop G5, like, I have a very good record with this because it's very sharp. And you have to know your style, obviously. So knight b to d7, bishop c4, right? After bishop c4, this bishop c4 move, I like this because I just develop everything very quickly. Bishop c4, queen b6, this is theory, right? Now queen b6, he's hitting b2. He's hitting b2. First time I played this OTB, like, crushed in FM. You know, so it was very, very strong. Like, it was like the great, I mean, I was half a point away from an IM norm in that tournament. And bishop b3 is the move. It's a very strong move. Like, you just go here, defend. Right, you see Bobby Fischer do the same thing. E6, right? We're going through the theory real fast. Bishop takes f6. Why do I take this? Because knight c5 is the thing. And doing it from both sides, I'm a Najdorf player myself. So actually, you know, doing this from both sides, I actually kind of checked both lines to see, well, this is what I play, but then what are you supposed to play in return? So like when you play, you know, when you play something from both sides, it's really bittersweet in a way to understand, because I know what to do. And what's funny is Carlos played everything up until a certain point. He played everything you're supposed to do. It tells you how strong he is. But at the same time, I did have an advantage somewhere, and I'll tell you where. So bishop takes, knight takes. Because if we don't take, he goes knight c5. He keeps both the knights. After bishop takes, pawn takes is kind of annoying, and like the knight stays here. Could do this, but I like to, you know, this is the theory. You take it to dislodge the knight. The knight wants to come back around, and like in plans wise, if you ever face this, for black, the knight comes back around to c5. No matter what happens, you go bishop d7, castles, bishop e7, or there's a g6 option. That's really it. King b8, and you have a good Najdorf. Like, it's just fine. You have to play it from there. That's black's idea, right? From white's standpoint, queen d2, castle, queenside, f4, rook a to e1, g4, g5, h4, stuff like that, right? I'm a big a big fan of plans. Very big fan of making plans and understanding what the plans and ideas are in a certain opening. Soy Dexter, GG, thanks for the follow. G6 looks very strong, diagonal, will clear. So exactly, it's something. But that's what Antipov played, which is E2600. So he definitely played the right line. If you go look at that Najdorf game in there, it's in my Najdorf playlist on YouTube, which I'll link. But queen d2, right? Knight d7, castles, knight c5. So already playing all the right stuff. I go f4, right? He goes bishop d7. All the right stuff, right? So where do you go as white here? White to move. What do we do as white? We know what the plans are. He's following all the right stuff, honestly. Where do you go as white? This is on you. G4. Oh, man. My man's going for it. He out here. Like, G4. I don't care about nothing, dog. I don't care about nothing. I like that. E5. Rook H to D1. Okay. Wow, that's nice, man. Trevor, I never even thought of that one. I never thought of that one. That's crazy, bro. Rook ace to E. Okay. CL. Rook ace to E1. Oh, okay. Oh, right there. All right, got you. Okay. F5. 5 as well. Mike Saylor. Nice. Rook A8. Teleport across the board. Exactly. I wouldn't even play chess at this point. I actually just choose a simple route, right? King B1. Yeah, always play King B1. Nice. Kind of sober. Sober. A3. Knight A4. Knight A4 is 100%. Oh my goodness. Come on. Garbage. Come on, big fella. It's a family channel, bro. It's a family channel, right? You can't do that out here, bro. Yeah. He needs some milk. Oh, for sure, Trevor. You can't do that one. But what you can do is rook ace to E1. right? And I think in every line that I've played in this, that I know, this is the setup. And it's kind of funny. It's very good to understand. Everything is the same with this setup, right? If we go back here, with this bishop g5, bishop c4 setup, usually in almost every line it's like the same. You do back the bishop up, you go queen d2, we castle queen side, rook hd1. And this is why I scored very well with this, because I'm a not a system player, but like I understand plans and ideas. I always love to understand plans and ideas as much as I can. Knight f6, queen d2, knight d7, castles queen side, knight c5. Right, he goes knight c5, f4, bishop d7, rook hd1, castle queen side. He's played everything that you're supposed to play. And even from the black side, like for real, this is everything you're supposed to play. Like, even if, I mean, literally it's so crazy that like, I like the Najdorf. And I know when I looked at this from the black side of like, what am I supposed to do against what I play? This is always something you have to ask yourself. What if they play what I like to play against me, right? So if you play that opening, or if you ever face that, you have to, you know, have that talk with yourself. And I know that with black, this is totally fine, 100%. But also with white, you do have chances too as well. And during the opening, black can go wrong a lot. Idea is h3 g4 right here. I mean, okay, well, it is up to you guys, right? Actually, to make a move, but g4 h3 is a move. G3 is the engine first move, but I'm not playing this. I just play king b1, right? Shout out to you king b1ers out there. King b1ers. White has a slight advantage here. No, yeah, he definitely does. I mean, it's slight. It's very slight. It's very slight. And now, let me tell you how long. I've been playing this a very long time. Like this whole system and this setup like this. So now, after all of this happens, black goes bishop e7. And then after bishop e7, I want you to tell me what happens here. White to move, check. Bishop e7. And I'm gonna let y'all in on some insight here. White to move. As I sip my COE mug, sip from the COE mug. ShopCantyMerch.com. Right. Okay, A3. You got C5. What's up, girl? Crybaby Carly. Oh, kill him. We in the middle of analysis right now. Shout out to you, Crybaby Carly. It's white to move here. I'm playing this game, OTB, versus Carlos Mercado. This is the game. This is the tournament. This was round 8, the tournament before the best tournament of my life, which was December 2022. December. Not even that long ago. Okay, what y'all got, chat? H3, E5. All right, H3, we have E5. It's for the raid. Crybaby Carly. E5, nice move, I see it. F5, pawn F5, okay. G4. Okay. Are y'all ready for this? So, this I've done knight D5 from bishop stars. All right, you get some stars there. It's not the move. It's not the move. You know, don't do that on national television. You are going to hurt yourself. You know what I'm saying? Big fella E takes, and it's just not looking that good. But the move here is, Mike Saylor said it. He actually an NM national master in the chat. But he's definitely stronger. Knight F5 was the move. I'm in the game, and I play knight F5 instantly. I've been in this position or similar many times. Knight F5. Here's the idea, right? If he takes on F5, then we go knight D5 and we stare at him real hard. Oh my goodness. Well, you better get it. Well, you better sign that score sheet as fast as you sat on at the board, right? Knight D5, and then obviously I'm forking and get the piece right back. This is a very nice attack. This is a very nice attack. Very nice attack. So knight F5 is the move, right? Knight F5. Come on, Wolski, right? Come on, don't do it to him. He gonna need some milk. Exactly, Barry. Is that one time for you? One time.
He needs some milk.
Oh, he definitely needs some. But what's funny is, chat. Okay, look, let's talk about this. What's the eval bar? What is the evaluation after knight F5? Like, this is deep. This is deep, chat. This is very deep. What do you think the eval bar is right now? +7s, okay, zeros from Trevor. Stockfish can probably draw +3, okay. Like, honest opinion, for real. Like, what do you think this is? Honest opinion. What do you think this is? +1. Thanks for the follow. Baby sauce. No computers, probably close to even. Honestly, 0.2. Okay. Okay. So he's destroyed his GG. You got the same cup? You got the same cup? Yeah, this is that a COE mug. I mean, come on, bro. You flexing the merch, not me. You flexing it. You flexing it. COE. ShopCantyMerch.com. Command COE in the chat. Okay, here it is. So what it is, guys, believe it or not, it's zeros.
Bruh.
It's zeros. When I analyzed this game afterwards, I couldn't believe it. But I also, you know how I am with Chessable. Like I have my streak says 1,290 days added up, right? So I have this from both sides. I have all the material on Najdorf. I use Forward Chess too as well. Shout out to them. So I have like the Najdorf books in there. Like I really study everything right in there because I want to know what's available to me. I might like this line better than another. I might like this one more aggressive than this positional line, right? And etc. So looking at the black version of this, like with the black pieces, the move here is what does black play? What is black play? Okay, it's zeros. Cool. That's great, right? But let me flip the board here because I'm actually a Najdorf player. Like I played a lot of Najdorf, right? And in the greatest tournament of my life, which is going to be the next analysis, starting with round 1, is it was a Najdorf Sicilian. I had a Najdorf game that was just very nice in that tournament. I know this from both sides. So it's black to move. It's black to move. Knight f5 was just placed on the board. Boom. I'm walking around. I'm looking at the other games. I'm like, man, this guy, get him off the board.
Bruh.
He done for. Man, it's like 15 moves. But then I'm walking around. I'm looking up, doing my Hikaru, and I'm like, wait a second. What if, chat? What is the move? Bishop f6, bishop f8. Okay. I remember all this, bro. Yeah, this was back in November. This is back in November. End of November was this tournament. Bishop c6 is so that's either wrong or strong. Wrong. Okay, perfect. Chaotic. Because if you said strong, we was gonna have to get you that number to call. You're gonna need some professional help on there, my guy. He takes f5. Okay. Black can't take. Just twist. There it is, Chaz. Yeah, just in case. That number, let's put that out there. Okay, flip. So look at this, right? If you miss this and you're just getting here, taking the knight is not good at all. Because knight to d5. Boom. Knight d5 and we live. I hit the queen, I hit the bishop, right? Your queen gotta go to a7, really? Queen b5 is even gross, but queen a7, I take on e7, you go king b8, queen d6. You are lost. You are 100% lost. Sign a score sheet. This is embarrassing to even play when you're sitting at the board and like somebody come by your board and you're like, bro, don't look at my game, bro. Like, don't do that, dog. Like, don't look at my game. So, you don't want this. You don't want this at all. So knight f5. After knight f5, you don't want to take it at all. So the move here actually for black, in fact, is bishop to f8. Believe it or not, what a move! I mean, that's insane. Bishop to f8. And I know this from both sides, in fact. And in calculations, when he played bishop f8 in the game, I sat here and I went into COE mode, right? Calculation over everything, right? I definitely went into COE mode. And in COE mode here, I realized something. White to move. What do you play here, chat? What do you play? This is a very crucial moment. This point and another point in the game are the most crucial moments of the game. Critical is what they're not crucial. I mean, in fact, I like to say crucial, but critical is what they call the critical moment in the game, right? There's a few. Okay, so what do you play here? Knight takes d6, threatens a fork, COE mode. Chaz, knight takes d6, think tank. What do you play here with the white pieces? e5, on e5, that is a tricky move. Bishop stars, pin the queen. How do we do that? How do we pin the queen? It's white to move. Remember this. Knight takes g7. Okay, but I need something else there, because if I do take the knight, it's not gonna be a good night, fella. Queen takes d6. You have lost your absolute own national television. That is, queen takes d6. Bishop takes. Get him off the board. Knight takes d6 is all I can see. Okay. Okay. Can you play knight d5? Well, knight d5, I take the knight. You have to have a follow up. This is learning here, chat. You always want to have a follow up. So if you don't have a follow up, then the move only looks good, right? And my 200 ELO brain, probably knight takes g7 because this is Vaughn, right? All right, so let me show y'all something. This is very deep analysis here. You know how we like COE. So in my analysis, which I actually know from the, like, this is what I analyzed from white. And then later on, literally months later, I studied the same variation from the black side, which is crazy. You can play the same thing from both sides. And from the black side here, I'm going to flip it here. From the black side is you fine. You say, please take this because there's so much compensation. Let me show you from the white side. In the game, actually, after knight takes d6, the problem is after bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes, bishop to c6. Are you kidding me? What is this? It's equal. It's equal. But black has initiative. Black has a lot of initiative. I'm hitting the e4 pawn, number one. If you go e5, this is always going to be weak. Super weak, right? So, okay, trade. Rook takes, right? Now, do you really want the rook coming to the 7th rank or the 2nd rank, hitting both these pawns? I get a pawn back, and I have initiative because my pieces are more active. This bishop is actually pretty gross on b3, right? So if you go king c1, which is in the calculations of mine, rook to d4, and then he hits both of these. And I have to figure out how I allow this to not be worse for me. This is not like, I mean, this is very active. He can take on b3. These are kind of hanging now. This was insane. And I was like, yo, in calculation, I was like, this is nuts to me, right? Now, what's funny is from the black side of the position, what you're supposed to do is bishop f8. After knight takes d6, you take. And I remember looking at the analysis, and it feels good, you know, obviously. And like from a human standpoint, like I really felt great because like when I saw this in the analysis or in the book, I was like, oh, I already calculated this. So this felt good to understand that I made a great decision in this game because I didn't take this pawn. I actually, after bishop f8, I saw all this counterplay that he had. So I go knight to e3. This is game move. This is game move right here. So that was a critical moment. But I realized that the guy is strong. The guy is very strong because, like, he just castled and did everything correctly and, like, very good. And I had to back this boy up. So I went with knight e3. I just like, all right, let's just try something else because I don't want to go down that route. So he goes bishop c6. Then I go f5. Tricky, right? You get a pawn, I get a pawn. 2 pieces hitting this one, 2 pieces hitting that one. I also have, I want to carve out the d5 squares, what Nerdisky calls it, carving out squares, right? So I want to carve out the square. If you play e5, that's not going to be live, my guy. I can take on f7, and also knight d5 is pretty solid as well. So, right. Can you show the eval bar? No. In fact, we're learning today, Wakatito. And what I want you to understand is you'll never have an eval bar in your regular games or when you're playing. So, you know, eval bar here, no, that's going to stunt your growth, big fella. Oh, no. Oh, no, we don't do that over here. What we're going to do is learn. So after knight e3, bishop to c6, right, hits the e4 pawn, right? I go f5. He goes queen c7, defends kind of like the f7 pawn type thing. And I go queen f2 because I want some tactics. This got very crazy. Here it is, chat. b5, right? F takes e6. I take, he takes, right? And then I go a3 because I just don't like the fact that b4 is about to be played. This is something you have to stop and do in many Sicilian games at some point. A3 is good because b4 is coming and like it's really annoying. And after b4 comes, imagine a5, a4. And where does my bishop go? I mean, I could go to c4. It's not that bad. But the engine said, move number 1, by the way, is knight f1. You think I'm broke? Bruh. Okay, big fella. Definitely report me if I'm playing knight f1 here. But move number 2, though, is actually a3. A3. This was the move. Knight f1. You would have found that, Trevor? Okay. Right. At first, bro. Right. You're getting wanded. You're getting wanded, bro. If you play f1. Right. That's just so stupid. But a3 is logical, right? Because he played b5. Like, You know what I mean? Like, I understand your next move. So logical move is to stop you from playing it. I also have a hold for the knight just in case he really does want to like push these up. Right? I have some stuff. So it's nice. It's nice. All right, now after A3, he goes G6. And this is the second critical moment right here, chat. And the reason, especially when you see the thumbnail here, this one's called engine calculations. Because right now, I want you to calculate. Boy, COE is real. Calculate. And now this game was absolutely lovely for me because I see you in the chat use that word there, Trojan. So, boy, oh my goodness. I came out of this boy like, yo, I got a chip in my brain, bro. It's white to move. What do you do here? What do you do, chat? What do you do right here? Hit him, split him. In F6, okay. F6, okay. In F6, all right. Bishop E6 for my hoots. In F6, knights. One of the knights to D5. Bishop A2, slow move. From Cougar Bay, okay. Queen F6. Then, all right, chat. You know what? Wow, if you said Queen F6, you know what I'm saying? Man, clap it up. Garbage. There you go on the screen right there. Bruh. That is not a move, big fella. That is not the move. Wow. That is not the move. That is not it, fam. Start a new one. Okay, maybe not start a new one, but that's not the move, fam. That's not the move. Because of initiative. After Queen F6, you're hitting both. Well, you're hitting the rook and you're hitting E6. Oh, that's cute. And after Bishop E7, oh, you want to take your little pawn back? Do it. Do it. After Bishop E6, check King B8, and your queen got to move somewhere. Do you really want to go Queen F7 and then have to deal with the rooks, the knight hanging here, or the bishop hanging? This is not the wave. This is not the wave, fam. This is not the wave. And the engine agrees too as well. This is not it. This is not it. We didn't see King B8. Bishop stars. We're gonna have to talk about that. If you ain't see King B8 there, we're going to talk. Okay, we'll talk offline. We'll talk offline. Okay. So Queen F6 is not the move. Queen F6 is not the move. But what the move really is, somebody said it, is Bishop F6. Bishop E6, excuse me. Bishop E6, check. But the same thing is what I mean, is a Bishop E6 check. Bishop E6 check. I'm sacking a whole piece. I think I probably spent. They don't have. This was on DGT board, but they didn't tell me my time. I probably should have grabbed the timestamp. But I played Bishop E6 check, and I spent like. I mean, I had to spend at least 20 minutes here. I had to spend at least 20 minutes. I'm sacking a whole piece. I'm sacking a whole piece. Let me reverse here, right? I understand, and I'm a very big fan of plans and ideas, but also aggressive chess. What I mean by that is, okay, Queen F6, I do know this is loose and this is loose, right? I have the two knights. The king is kind of loose. If I can get the knight to D5, I have counterplay. The problem is he also is not fully developed. So if I can take advantage of this, this is going to work. Move number one on the engine is bishop takes E6. After bishop takes E6, you need a follow-up. Obviously, he's going to take it, which he does. Right, I go Queen F6. I'm hitting the knight and I'm hitting the rook at the same time, which forces your next move, or else I'm just winning and I have the D5 square, right, with both of the knights going on the D5 square. So your only move here, right, has to be knight G7 if you want to keep the material. If you go bishop G7, I take with check, I stole a pawn. Bishop E7, I take with check, I stole a pawn, right? So you have to go knight G7. But now look at these pieces, right? And this is what I realized here. Both of these pieces are really bad. So now my initiative is very strong. So I follow up with one of the knights, and it has to be which knight, chat. I'm telling you, I was in the think tank. Bruh. I'm a real Jedi would as a Jedi could. It's white to move. Which knight goes to D5 and why? Which knight goes to D5 and why? And this really matters. Knight C to D5. All three pieces are terrible, correct? Which knight goes to D5 and why? Knight C to D. Okay, we got knight E to D. Han Yola. Either one looks fine. E knight, free the vision of the rook on the pawn. Right, because left is defending. Knight E to D, open up the rook. Knight C to D. Knight E because of the rook. That is correct, chat. It's knight E because of the rook push. e5, and I have some very sick tactics. Let me show you something here, chat. Like there's combinations. I see this, and this is why I always tell students do 100 a day, right? I see rook to d8 and queen c6. So if I can play knight d5, play e5, allow a capture, I have knight b6, queen takes, rook takes, and queen takes c6. And I have some very nice, strong ideas here based off of something, a pattern that I see through the pieces, right? A lot of times seeing patterns through the pieces is a deep concept. So I go knight e to d5. He goes queen b7. I have to move fast. I have to get it done. e5. He can't move the bishop because I take the knight. You have to move the rook and then move this knight. That takes 2 moves. But I don't think you can survive 2 moves here because I have e6, e7. I'm also threatening to take and play knight e7. So this piece sack was nasty. It's equal still, but after rook g8, right, I find another great move here, Chad. It's white to move. Now, this was more of an engine move. I would say engine move as a human. As a human, I play the engine move, but the engine, the engine don't recommend it. Bruh. It's kind of funny, bro. Like, as a human, this feels like an engine move, but the engine didn't even recommend this move. If it's white to move, what do you do? Classical Canty is a greater beast than hyperbolic Canty. Sheesh, bro. I'm telling you, like this was November. This was right before the greatest tournament of my entire life, which was in December, which we're gonna cover right after this game or the next game. When you like Queen f7, Queen f7. Okay. Night before. Knight e7. Okay. Knight e4. All right. Okay, talking about engine moves. Knight e7s. E6 looks dead. Okay, so chat. Here it is. The move that's supposed to be played is honestly clap it up for yourself. E6 is the move. But what I didn't like is knight h5. Right? He hits the queen. I'm in calculation, right? COE. So he hits the queen. And then I'm supposed to go queen g5 or queen h4. And then play the game like this. Now think about that from a human standpoint. Like I just sacked a piece. Like and this is all in my guys, I have to see that. I have to see all of this from like here. You know what I mean? This is where I was. So I look at bishop e6, queen f6, he has to go knight g7. Which knight do I go to? This knight or this knight to d5? Okay, I have to go this one. So then you choose the knight e to d5 knight, right? Then you choose e5. Okay, takes, perfect. He got rook g8 to try to untangle. And then after he tries to untangle, cool, what do I do, right? So we get this far. I go with this knight, right? Here, e5, rook g8. The reason why I don't go e6 is because I did not like knight h5. And remember, it's initiative. You have to move fast. To prevent knight h5, you play g4. And that's exactly right, Trevor. That's exactly right. I played g4. It's an engine move, bro. But the engine didn't recommend it. But also, what's funny is it's still zeros. It's still zeros. But I played g4, like, to stop him, because the knight still can't move. And if you go knight e8, right, knight e8 is terrible because queen e6 check and I pick up the rook. Look at the pieces on the back rank. After a piece sack, queen e6, check, and take the rook. Pick up the rook. This was a nasty game, bro. Nasty game. So I played g4, right? He takes on e5. Remember what I was telling you guys right before with that pattern I saw. So I go knight b6, takes, rook takes, queen c7, and here, right here, I couldn't figure it out, chat. Right now it's +3. I'm down a piece, but it's +3. And I got here and I was like, I couldn't figure out the sequence of moves. So what is the sequence of moves, chat? What is the sequence of moves here to win the game? I'm going to tell you what happened. This was a draw. I just checked him here, because he can't run away because the rook check and he gets mated or he'll lose the rook. So I took a draw. Because I couldn't figure out the rest. And if you're wrong, like you could actually end up losing the game. But I probably should have played it. But like at the same time, like, I'd rather, it's not that easy to find it. What do we do? Queen h6, queen a8, rook d1, queen h6, knight d5. Knight d5, grandpa. Hey man, we're gonna have to breathe. Just breathe through it, man. I mean, one day at a time. Queen h6, queen a8, Queen A8 first, then Queen A6. Okay. Okay. So the problem with Queen A6 is just Queen B7. Weirdly enough, after Queen B7, I can go Queen F6, and then he can actually start developing, like Bishop C5. I get a few pawns, and this is probably equal, but I'm still down a piece. Believe it or not, I'm still down a piece. I'm still on a piece. Queen D5 only hits the rook, and he goes Rook H8. That's a nice move, though. Queen D5. Queen A8, followed by Queen A6, actually leads to the same thing as regular Queen A6. Same, it's just a different move order. And I go Queen F6, he goes Bishop C5. Right? Can we see the eval bar? No, that's not how you learn, Ronnie P. Somebody else said that too. We're not looking at no eval bar because you don't get that in your games, my guy. So you're going to do it like a real Jedi would, because a real Jedi could. You're going to analyze, and you're going to try to learn. You're going to try to learn. Because the eval bar will stunt your growth there. Queen C7. After Queen C7, I just take the draw. But here's what happens. This is what you're supposed to do. It is Queen A8. After Queen B8, guys, you had to combine the ideas. Now it's Queen D5. And then after the rook moves, I had to find, and this is the like best moves to win. Anything else is like +1 or equal. But as a human standpoint, I'm still down a piece, right? And I have to be super accurate. I have to go Rook D1. And this I didn't see. Now, I wasn't mad at this, but the fact that like I just didn't see this because Queen D7 is a huge threat. This is engine like for real. And then Bishop D6, right? I can play check, maybe takes, like there's all kind of stuff. I get the pawn back, I'm winning, right? Something like Queen C7 doesn't work because Queen A8, Queen B8, and then Rook D6 or Rook D8. Classic tactic. Classic tactic. That's crazy. That's crazy. Rook here, right? And then if King C7, I can just take on E5 for number one. But Queen D7, I think probably mating. Some type of mate in here. Where's this mate at? Just want to see it. Go here, B4. Okay, so what about here? B4 here and like something like this. Wow, Kasparov had a game like this. That's crazy. Knight check. And like this, but he like sacked his queen or something. Like sacked his queen. But yeah, this was the plan I was supposed to do. I just couldn't find it, and I think I was also getting lower on time. So I just took a perpetual. This is how the game ended right here. Okay, man, I just drew, whatever, take the draw. But then when I got back and looked at it with the engine, they said I was supposed to play Queen D5, hit the rook, tempo. Rook moves, another tempo. How do you defend? You can't defend everything. Queen B7, mate. Queen C7, lose the queen. Bishop D6 gives the material back. Right? This was pretty hard, bro. This is pretty hard. So this was a tough game here, but this is what's called like engine calculations here because of how we calculated this line. It started from Bishop takes E6, which is very nice. It's very nice. Bishop E6. So this is a Najdorf Sicilian. Of course, see it from the beginning again, and then we'll do some other stuff. All right. D4, fueled by HelloFresh. Just go. There you go, Mr. Swift. Thank you. Thank you. Takes. Bishop G5. Bishop C4. Bishop B3. This is all theory. Takes. Play Queen D2. Castle Queen side right. And then Rook F4. Bishop D7. Rook E1. King B1. And Knight F5. This was pretty sick. This was a great game. Like I was really a big fan of that. Of this move. And Bishop F8 was really nice. First one like this. Gotta go. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Shady Warrior. This is a crazy game, right? So hopefully I learned something from this one. It's interesting. I learned something definitely. So, all right, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube and see you on the next one. Let's get it.